Hello, today's video is God's battle plan for a strong immune system. Okay, today's topic is the sixth in a series of God's battle plan. And yep, three more to go. For a start, do you know where are our immune organs? Well, the tonsils, the thymus, where T cells mature, right? They form in the bone marrow, but they mature in the thymus, and then they're sent to the lymph nodes, the spleen, our appendix, and intestinal lymphoid follicles. And did you know that 70% of the immune system is in our gut? Okay, I'll share more on that later. The Bible says our body, our physical body, is fearfully and wonderfully made. Okay, in Psalms 139, verse 14, and designed to function optimally when cared for properly. Right. Our brain is to set our mind on the things of God. We have eyes to see the beauty of His creation, ears to listen to His instructions, a mouth to sing His praise, to praise Him, right? And feet to bring the good news of Jesus and the gospel, and our hands so we can pray for people and lay hands on them for healing. Isn't that wonderful? Our immune system is like a highly trained military, okay? The immune system, our immune system, is like a national military. Or just imagine a US military or Chinese military, right? As both consist of complex, coordinated networks designed to defend against, identify, and destroy internal and external threats to maintain safety and stability, right? So internal threats like cancer and external threats like infections. Key functions of an immune system. Defense against pathogens. It protects against infections like the cold, the flu, and more serious diseases by using white blood cells, okay, NK cells, etc., antibodies, and chemical messengers. Removal of damaged foreign cells. It clears out dead, dying, or abnormal cells, such as like cells that are dead, that's called apoptosis, or cancer cells. Distinguish cell from non-self. The system identifies and neutralizes foreign invaders while leaving healthy blood cells unharmed, right? So sometimes you have an organ transplant from a donor, your immune system may reject it, okay? Long-term protection, okay, memory, records every germ it has defeated, allowing it to quickly recognize and destroy it if it returns, okay? That's how we use vaccines. When we talk about immune cells, we're always talking about our white blood cells, right? So when you go for a blood test, they always do a full blood count, the red blood count, and the white blood count. When it's low or too high, there are concerns. The white blood cells includes, okay, leukocytes. Okay, or white blood cells are called leukocytes, are essential immune system cells produced in the bone marrow that defend the body against infections, foreign invaders, and diseases. Circulating in the blood and lymph tissues, they include neutrophils, lymphocytes, monocytes, eosinophils, basophils, which destroy the pathogens via phagocytosis or antibody production. Right? Neutrophils kills bacteria and fungi and foreign debris. Monocytes clean up the damaged cells. Eosinophils kills parasites, cancer cells, and involved in an allergic response. And basophils are involved in allergic response, and lymphocytes help fight viruses and activate antibody production. So, see, all these different type of white cells are like different armies. One is a soldier, one is a a sniper, one is a paratrooper, one is a Air Force pilot. So they all have different functions. Okay. I'm sure you all had done a blood test before, right? Then this is like a typical blood test report. Your red blood cells, or hemoglobin too high, too low, okay, blah, 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 hematocrit, right? Or platelet, normal or abnormal, too high, too low. And then all these white blood cells are broken down, percentage, all the different types of white blood cells, which I just shown, the lymphocytes, the neutrophils, the basophils, the eosinophils, okay? But what Okay, if you have high white blood cell count, what does that mean? Elevated levels of leukocytes, okay, means leukocytosis, white blood cells, often mean the body is fighting an infection, experiencing inflammation, or reacting to stress. So if you have infection somewhere, your white blood cells will be high. Okay, so that's what the blood test will show. What does a low level of white blood cells mean? Okay, it's called leukopenia. May indicate a weakened immune system, bone marrow damage. Bone marrow is not producing the white blood cells as it should, or chemotherapy side effects, because your chemotherapy side effect is to suppress the bone marrow producing all these white blood cells, so leading to easily get infections because of a lowered immunity. Characteristics of the immune system. We have different immune systems within our setup, right? Because different invaders, different threats needs different immune combats to deal with them. For instance, say cancer is like a spy in your country, right? Then you need a secret police there to tap on him or confirm he's a spy, then arrest him and probably execute him. Of course, you need a different defense system if someone is trying to invade your country from aeroplane or from sending missiles, isn't it? So same thing with our immune system, right? Innate immunity, there's no memory. And then the other two immune systems we have in our body, humoral or antibody-based, and cell-based immunity or cell-mediated immunity, has a memory, which I will share later. Okay, most military has Navy, right? So people can be like fighting in the sea, shooting missiles at each other. And if the Navy, like Normandy, want to land ground troops onto our shore, then we have an army ready for them. Or if they have an air force trying to bomb us, then we need an air defense system, right? Same thing with our immune system, because why? We get threats from internal, our body, like cancer. Then we get external threats like fungus, bacteria, virus, etc. So likewise, so our immune system is just like a highly trained military, or it should be. Okay, remember the first immune arm that I showed is one with no memory and two with memory. Okay, the one with no memory is called the innate immunity. Okay, it's a bit like our frontline defense. Okay, it's like a border patrol. Okay, there's no memory one, so the border it's like border security, coastal guards, and checkpoints to prevent intruders from entering the country. They have no memory. Okay. But anything that's foreign, they will just go and attack. The skin, mucous membranes, stomach acid, and enzymes act as physical and chemical barriers to keep pathogens out. Likewise, we have border checks, border patrols. Like we have the sea, right, to separate us from another country for intruders. Action. If pathogens enter, non-specific white blood cells like macrophages act as first responders, attacking any foreign agent immediately. Macrophages like NK cells and so forth. Okay, they will just see, oh, foreigner, then they go and attack. Same thing when we have our border patrol. Okay, your armor. Okay, innate immunity is like an armor, a shield. Likewise, our country may be like our geography, like Afghanistan had hilly mountains, so it's very hard to like invade them individually, right? They hid in the mountains. The Vietnamese hid in dugout underground tunnels. Okay, innate immunity includes physical barriers, commensals. We have tons of friendly commensals bacteria on our skin, in our gut, in our mucosa. This prevents colonization by bad pathogens. Our skin is a barrier to keep pathogens away, okay? To keep away harmful substances. It also has immune cells to protect us. A mucus, are sticky cells. I mean, are sticky. They are in the respiratory tract, in our gut. Okay, so they will just stick the bacteria before they can cause any problems. Chemical barriers include our acidic stomach, okay, to prevent bacteria from flourishing. Interferons, cellular barriers like our white blood cells. I mean, they are called in as extra help. See, if pathogens has already breached our first line of defense, and these white blood cells are called in to come and to attack. Okay, and how do they do it? Like natural killer cells, they are like a Pac-Man. They just gobble up, chew up the pathogens and foreign substances. Okay, our little friends, the commensals, the bacteria, organisms that grow in and on the body are harmless or even helpful, right? They prevent colonization by pathogenic strains. They produce vitamins. They help in the metabolism, right? Butyric acid and so forth in the gut. Types of commensals found in the body depends on the environmental requirements. Depends on the oxygen level, temperature, nutrients, humidity, pH, and resistance to enzymes. They're natural barriers to productive infection, okay, and prevent them from doing damage, or the good bacteria. Okay, these are the names of our little friends spread out throughout the body, our body. Physical barriers includes flow of fluids and cells, major factor in maintaining many of our environment, okay, on our body to be pathogen free. For instance, our eyes has tears that contain lysozymes that breaks down the bacterial wall. So every time you blink, you renew that protective, benefits, okay, in your eyes. Vagina, the fluids and cells in the menstruation that are protective. Urogenital tract, sterile urine contains immunoglobulin A, okay, an antibody. Sweat protects the pores, okay. Our mouth, we swallow 1 liter of our own saliva, okay. Saliva contain lysozymes, so every time we swallowing our saliva, we are giving ourselves a mouthwash, okay. Our respiratory tract, the mucus is propelled by the cilia, then we swallow it in the low acidic environment in our stomach. Physical barrier includes our skin. It's the largest organ in our body, okay, most biggest surface area. So it's very important to have a line of defense. So the exterior, the keratin layer, the dead exterior, the hard part, it's most important. It's a defense against pathogens. And then our sebum, the oily secretion, is bacteriostatic. It kills bacteria. And our sweat, you meant getting a drop of sweat into your eyes, it burns. Because why? It's low pH, okay, and it contains immunoglobulin A and lysozyme, which breaks down bacterial walls. Okay, so talk about physical barriers. Now we talk about certain cellular barriers. Okay, we have in our lining of our respiratory tract, gut, we have macrophages, which are like a Pac-Man. Huh? They just go see any foreign invaders. They don't have no memory. They see any foreign invaders, foreign substance, they just go there and chew it up like, okay, a bacteria or a foreign particle. It will just bind it, okay, fuse it inside, and then release all these enzymes that will destroy the bacteria or foreign particle and then release it. This is called phagocytosis, like a Pac-Man. Chup, 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 go and eat.
Natural killer cells, aka NK cells, are one of the most important components of your body's innate immune system. NK cells actively looks for abnormal cells in your body, such as infected, mutated, or cancerous cells and even aged cells, destroying them immediately with naturally released toxins. As your body immune's first line of defense, they are aggressive. But since they have no immunological memory, they attack any type of infected, mutated, and aged cells. They are the first responders to infected cells before your T cells are recruited. Cancers or viral infections know how to hide from T cells. NK cells, on the other hand, can identify a normal cell and cancerous cell, destroying the unwanted cell instantly. Based on current scientific evidence, low NK activity group has higher cancer incidence rates compared with medium and high NK activity groups. An increased number of NK cells will enhance its functions in removing mutated and aged cells, allowing more room for healthy cells to grow. Your cells today are younger than tomorrow. Store your immune cells today.
So many natural remedies actually boost this natural killer cell activity. By boosting it, you boost the ability to prevent foreign pathogens and invaders, to protect it from foreign invaders. If, for instance, reishi mushrooms, lingzi, vitamin E, vitamin C, vitamin D, ginseng, and polysaccharides are all known to boost your NK cell activity. And a lot of people, they are also just going to centers. I mean, they don't have cancer. They will just go there for natural killer cell therapy just to boost their immunity. Okay, I'm not endorsing it or saying it's good or no good, but people are doing that. Number two, the specialized forces. Remember, there's the immunity, innate, no memory, and then there's two with memory. Okay, special forces like Navy SEALs, Army Rangers are trained to combat specific threats using specialized equipment. Right? Okay. Our immune system, lymphocyte, T cells, and B cells identify specific pathogens, be it viruses or bacteria, based on unique markers called antigens. So everything is on a molecular level. And action, these cells create antibodies tailored to neutralize particular invaders. Okay, this acquired immunity, that means with memory, again, has two different arms. Humoral immunity or antibody-mediated immunity. And this deals with bacteria. Okay, bacteria is a very big, it's like a cell. It cannot enter into a cell, right? So you need a different immune system to deal with it, deal with bacteria. Cell-mediated immunity, okay, deals with parasites, viruses, and foreign cells such as cancer cells. Okay, so it's another immune system. Like a virus is so small, it can go into to your cell, into your DNA. It's so small. Whereas a bacteria is big. Okay, it can never enter into your human cells, right? Viruses can. Viruses actually enter your cell, then into your DNA, and use your DNA to replicate itself, right? So that's how you need different immune system to deal with different pathogens. Okay, we talk about humoral or antibody-mediated immunity. Okay, the one with the antibody, the one that deals with bacteria. It generates antibodies to an antigen, depends on an initial and secondary exposure to an antigen. Clonal selection and somatic mutation govern the production of specific type binding antibodies. Okay, they produce antibodies. T helper cells control the B cell antibody selection and production. Okay, so it's the T helper cells that help control the B cells to produce antibodies. I'll show you how it works. Antigens can be used to induce antibody-based immunity to microbial pathogens. Okay, immunological responsiveness. Okay, the first time you turn out by the same bacteria, right, the same infection, the antigen, it's very slow. It takes about a week, 10, 20 days for a latent period. Then you produce the antibody, okay? Whereas the second time you get it, it's not only faster, but they produce much more antibodies than the first time you get the infection. Okay, there you go. This is the first time response. Okay, it takes 10, 20 days, right? Then the antibody only so much. But with the memory, the second time you get the infection, it responds very fast because right, they already got you on radar. They know about you, right? Then and then the antibody response is much more higher. They produce a lot more, okay, and faster. Okay, still on the humoral antibody-mediated immunity. Okay, the bacteria comes. Oh, your B cells recognize. So they will produce, these B cells will produce plasma cells, and these plasma cells will produce antibodies. But some become B memory cells. So the next time you get the infection, these memory cells already got you on radar. Okay, can recognize you faster. So the second time you get an infection with the same pathogen, right? The memory cells already remember. So immediately they quickly become plasma cells and produce a lot of antibodies, much quicker than the first time you get the infection. Okay, now we talk about cell-mediated immunity. Remember, there was 3 types: innate, then the one with memory, antibody or humoral, and then the other one, cell-mediated. Okay, and cell-mediated immunity is by T lymphocytes. The other one was, yes, T initially to tell the B what kind of antibody to produce. cell-mediated immunity clears intracellular pathogens like virus and also internal threats like cancer, fungus. Okay, the immunity can be conferred by the transfer of transfer factors. They communicate. Okay, they have the memories. Okay, the memory can be transferred by things called T factor. Antigen-specific and antigen-specific cells are used. I'll explain later. Okay, cell-mediated immunity. The two main types of cells, CD4 and CD8. T helper cells, or CD4, cells recognize the antigen and thus direct antibody production. Okay, sometimes you can get antibody towards cancer cells, towards virus as well. Okay, I mean the cells with the virus. Okay, T killer or cytotoxic cells, or CD8, recognize the antigen and thus directing a cytotoxic response. It means they go there and blast the cancer cells or the cells infected with the virus. Okay. So there you go, cell-mediated immunity, virus in a cell or cancer, antigen-presenting cell. The T helper cells will, ask the killer cells, come here. It's a bit like the coordinator, come and kill. So these T helper cells is the CD4 cells. The T killer cells is the CD8.
T cells are a type of white blood cell that play a central role in the immune system. They help recognize and destroy infected or cancer cells. There are two main types: helper T cells, CD4+, which coordinate the immune response, and cytotoxic T cells, CD8+, which directly kill infected or abnormal cells. T cells recognize pathogens through receptors specific to antigens, and their activation is crucial for the immune response and the formation of immune memory. They are essential for immunity and defense against diseases. T cells are vital to the immune system and come in two main types. Helper T cells, CD4+, these coordinate the immune response by signaling other immune cells, like B cells and cytotoxic T cells, to respond to infections. Cytotoxic T cells, CD8+, these directly kill infected or cancerous cells by recognizing and attacking specific antigens presented on the surface of these cells. T cells are essential for both immediate defense and long-term immunity, helping the body remember past infections for quicker responses.
Okay, third in your military arsenal is intelligence and memory. Okay, military intelligence. Intelligence agencies analyze enemies and develop strategies and remember past adversaries, right? So our immune system, the same thing. The adaptive immune system remembers past pathogens, allowing for a faster and stronger immune response if the same invader attacks again. Fourthly, in our military arsenal, okay, is communication and coordination. It's the command center, right? You have a command center to coordinate all your Navy, military, your Army, Air Force for an attack or defense. So in the military terms, generals and communication systems coordinate different army branches to ensure a unified response. Okay, same thing. Our immune system, the cells communicate via chemical signals called cytokines to coordinate the attack and manage the intensity of the immune response. Okay, of course, in our case, is the defense. Okay, so our cytokines manage natural killer cells, you go there. T cells, you go there. Or this lymphocyte, you go there. You do this, you do that, right? So cytokines control our immune defense.
Cytokines are a large group of bioactive small molecule proteins synthesized and secreted by immune cells like macrophages, B and T lymphocytes, granulocytes, and mast cells, as well as certain non-immune cells such as endothelial cells and fibroblasts upon stimulation. There are different types of cytokines, including interleukins, interferons, chemokines, tumour necrosis factors, colony-stimulating factors, transforming growth factors, and growth factors, which fall into different families and serve different roles in the immune system to keep it functioning properly. Immune cells are crucial tools that help the immune system fight cancer. Cytokines regulate the growth, proliferation, and differentiation of immune cells and other cells. As a result, cytokines have become indispensable tools for the in vitro cultivation of various cell types, such as immune cells, stem cells, and organoids. Cytokines signal the immune system and regulate the body's response to infection and disease, including cancer. These characteristics mean that cytokines and their receptors can be used in immunotherapy, acting as messengers for cancer immune responses. Just 2 cytokines are approved by the US FDA for the treatment of malignant diseases. Interferon alpha was approved in 1986 for the treatment of hairy cell leukemia, and later for follicular non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, melanoma, and AIDS-related Kaposi sarcoma, while interleukin-2 was first approved in 1992 and can be used to treat advanced renal cell carcinoma and metastatic melanoma. However, the clinical application of cytokines is limited by their short half-life in vivo, severe toxicity, and poor efficacy. To address these challenges, several cytokine engineering strategies have been developed, including Fc fusion, polyethylene glycol conjugation, and antibody cytokine fusions, aiming to reduce toxicity and improve efficacy. To aid the research and development of
Okay, so there are cytokine therapies available. I'm sure it's being researched and more will be available. Okay, 5th thing about your immune system and your military training and support. So you need a defense budget. Likewise, you need a nutritional budget, right? And training. In military terms, the soldiers require training, right? They need food and rest, right, to remain effective. I mean, like the Ukrainian war, if the Ukrainian soldiers are not rotated out, they fatigue and they are less likely to fight strong, right? The immune system requires proper nutrition, like vitamin C, E, zinc, sleep, exercise, and stress management to function at its peak. That's why we have vaccines, right? Vaccines is a form of training your immune system. Similar to training exercises or intelligence briefings, vaccines prime the immune system to recognize and fight off threats before they cause diseases, right? It's a form of training. So in short, for nutritional support, okay, weakened general defense, you're prone to all infections, right? So you boost your innate immunity, the NK cell activity like Lingzi, Ganoderma, vitamin C, D, right, and Echinacea, zinc. Weaken humoral immunity, okay? You're both prone to bacterial infections. And propolis and garlic actually has antibacterial activity. You put bacteria into a dish, agar dish, you put propolis or garlic, it will kill that bacteria one, right? Weaken cell-mediated immunity, that means you're prone to cancer, viral infections. Propolis boosts your T cell function, so does Ganoderma, curcumin, and Lingzi, okay? Lingzi or whatever, right? So it helps boost cell-mediated immunity.
When a foreign microbe, such as a virus or bacteria, invades our
Talk about
body,
vaccines, huh?
our immune system responds by activating the first layer of defense, known as the innate immune system. This includes things like inflammation, fever, chills, sneezing, and coughing. This response stops the spread of the microbe in the body, but also it activates the second layer of defense, known as the adaptive immune system, which consists of specialized cells such as T and B cells, which go to the site of infection, identify identify the microbe, usually by the outside antigens, such as these red spikes, then produce an antibody. This process then not only destroys the microbe, but produces memory against it, ultimately leading to immunity against that microbe in case we encounter it in the future. However, for the elderly and those with serious medical conditions, being infected by a nasty microbe might take a serious toll on the body. Therefore, we've come up with another way of achieving immunity without being infected. This is through the use of vaccines. One particular type of vaccines is using the whole microbe within the vaccines. We can do this by weakening the microbe, such as live attenuated vaccines. An example would be measles, or actually killing the microbe, such as in polio. In any case, the whole microbe is injected into the body, where we go through the same immune response. We build up immunity against the particular pathogen or the microbe without getting sick. Another form of vaccine is the subunit vaccines, like in whooping cough. This is where we extract particular antigens of the microbe, in this case these red spikes. We put that into the vaccine and inject it into the body. It goes through these stages of an immune response against the antigen and building up immunity. Finally, another type of vaccine is a toxoid vaccine. This is where we produce immunity against toxic products that some microbes cause. These examples would be diphtheria and tetanus. Finally, a new form of vaccine is mRNA or vector vaccines, which we see with the new COVID vaccines. These types of vaccines use the body's own cells to generate the antigen from the virus and therefore respond in the same way to build immunity against the antigen, so we have immunity against the SARS-CoV virus without being infected. In any case, all these vaccines need to go through the same stages of an immune response. Therefore, it is common and expected to see certain responses like inflammation causing pain, fever, chills, sneezing and coughing. And this is a normal response from the body to a vaccine.
Sometimes the immune system can go wrong. Just like in military terms, a misguided army might mistakenly attack its own citizens, resulting in a civil war, or it can overreact to a small threat. In immune system terms, autoimmune disease occur when the immune system attacks the body's own healthy cells, like rheumatoid arthritis, while severe inflammation can lead to a cytokine storm, okay? Like where the body causes damage to itself while trying to fight the infection. Just like in COVID, people die of the cytokine storm. Okay, I'll explain what it is. Okay, autoimmune diseases, these are the common ones, right? Where your immune system is rejecting your own body, attacking your own body, okay? Your own cells. Like in multiple sclerosis, Guillain-Barré syndrome, fibromyalgia, thyroiditis, psoriasis, vitiligo, eczema, peripheral neuropathy, Crohn's disease, celiac disease, ulcerative colitis, type 1 diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, ankylosing spondylitis, fibromyalgia rheumatica, and lupus, okay, just to name a few. This is the cytokine storm when the immune system reacts too severe. Like in COVID, the inflammatory signals come, then all your immune system just go haywire until there's so much inflammatory cells and fluid, obviously with inflammation in your lungs, that you drown in your own lungs. So that's the acute respiratory distress syndrome. Okay, and I cannot conclude a talk on your immune system without mentioning gut health. Why? 70% of your immune system lies in the gut. Okay, it's called gut-associated lymphoid tissue. You see, the gut, your immune system, 70% is in your gut. Okay, your spleen, bone marrow, lymphatic system, blah blah blah. It's only makes up 30%. Okay.
What is gut-associated lymphoid tissue, GALT? Imagine your gut as a busy city with its own security team. This team is made up of special immune cells that keep harmful invaders out while letting in helpful bacteria. That's what gut-associated lymphoid tissue, or GALT, does. It is a network of immune cells and structures spread throughout your gastrointestinal tract. Its main job is to protect your gut from germs and toxins while allowing nutrients and beneficial bacteria to do their work. GALT includes organized tissues like Peyer's patches, which are small clusters of immune cells mainly in the small intestine. These patches are about the size of a pinhead but packed with immune cells like B cells, T cells, macrophages, and dendritic cells. There are also isolated lymphoid follicles scattered along the intestines, the appendix, and lymph nodes near the intestines called mesenteric lymph nodes. All these structures work together to spot foreign substances and decide whether to attack or tolerate them. Every day, your gut encounters thousands of antigens, which are molecules from food, bacteria, and other microbes. GALT's role is to manage this exposure. It produces immune cells and antibodies to protect the lining of your gut from infections. At the same time, it learns to tolerate harmless substances like food particles and friendly bacteria, preventing unnecessary immune reactions. This balance is vital for maintaining a healthy gut barrier, which keeps harmful substances from leaking into your bloodstream. Supporting GALT health is important for overall digestive health. Eating foods rich in prebiotics like fiber feeds the good bacteria in your gut. Consuming probiotics, which are beneficial bacteria, can also help GALT function better. When GALT works well, it helps prevent issues like leaky gut syndrome and gut inflammation, which can cause discomfort and other health problems. In essence, GALT acts as the immune system's surveillance team inside your gut. It protects you from dangerous microbes while allowing beneficial bacteria and nutrients to do their job. Keeping this system healthy through good diet choices and lifestyle habits helps support your gut barrier and overall digestive well-being.
That's why they said your gut health is also linked with your brain health, like Alzheimer's and so forth, dementia. Yeah, because 70% of your immune system is in your gut. Okay, simple ways to improve your gut health. Eat fiber-rich foods. Obviously, you need to get rid of the toxins that are in your gut. Because fiber, the insoluble fiber is like a broom. The soluble fiber is like a mop up the toxins, the cholesterol. Drink adequate water. That one I will cover in the next series for youthfulness. Manage stress. Chronic stress. Acute stress is like in ancient days. You see a tiger, or another tribe, you fight or you flight. But these days we're stuck in traffic jams. We have mental, problems. We are always worried about finances. So adrenaline is being released and cortisol is being released. When cortisol is being released, it suppresses your immune system. Okay, so managing stress is very important. Seek medical guidance when needed, and consistency in your dietary habits to improve your gut health is very crucial. So maintain a good flora in your gut is very important, the good bacteria. So fermented foods for healing your gut. Every culture has its own fermented foods, like the Westerners has water kefir, sourdough bread, plain yogurt, right? Cheese. The Chinese have fermented vegetables, right? Indonesians have tempeh. The Japanese have miso soup, right? And pickles. Sokonot, like the Chinese ham choy. Kimchi, the Koreans have that. Kombucha, okay. The Indians have lassi tea. Okay, so every society, every culture have their own fermented foods, and it's for gut health. And how do you know if you have an unhealthy gut, okay, frequent stomach upsets, frequent episodes of mucus filled stool and gas, persistent nausea and vomiting, chronic fatigue, frequent headaches, intense food cravings, food intolerances, and skin problems and allergies, and and unexplained weight loss or gain. So, other biblical and natural immune plan, okay, nutrition and real food, not processed food, a focus and nutrient-dense whole foods. This includes plenty of fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins to provide essential vitamins, okay, and minerals. You need to sleep well, okay? You don't sleep well, of course, because your body actually heals. There's healing going on when you sleep. Okay, stress management and physical activity, which I won't mention about, but it's crucial. Maybe on another video. And hydration is key. Okay. In summary, your immune cells are God's soldiers inside you. Okay, all those neutrophils, lymphocytes, basophils are the different kind of like soldiers you have. Okay. Vitamins and minerals. It's because these soldiers need food. They need nutrition, they need training, they need intelligence, okay, and they need maintenance. So I hope this has been useful. It's a very unique way for me to present God's battle plan for a strong immune system. So thank you for listening, and wait for the next one.